What's up, everyone? It's your guy Fiat D. If you don't know who I am, don't worry about it, because I don't know who I am either. I'm
His
accompanied
name
by
is Battle.
FBTW Gaming. There you go, Battle as well. Um, we are gonna be doing our tier list because we looked at some of the community tier lists for Gigantic, and we were like, this is kind of funny. Not that they're
Woo!
bad. I mean, the community seems to understand how to play the game.
The
We just have
community's
a different
gotten really good.
perspective. Yeah,
I,
yeah, the community's gotten really good actually. I was playing this game in beta when it first came out, I think in the Xbox in 2015.
15? 14? Because it was
14?
2 years out when it closed in 2016. So closed beta might have been 3 years if you got CB1. I could go back in my emails and hunt it down, but I'm almost positive it was
Okay.
2014. Yeah.
Otherwise, I've been playing this game since then. I'm not an alpha Chad, all right? So I'm not as good as everybody else.
I am.
When yeah, FB's an alpha Chad, and he'll talk about that when I give him a chance to, instead of myself just blabbering on. I played on a competitive team, whatever you call competitive, right? When we were doing competitive matches.
We were
Oh shit! Look
number
at VID,
3.
bro. He's a god. No, I'm horrible at this game. All right.
We were number
No,
3 though. We were number 3 for the longest time. Like that. Don't
sure,
don't
buddy.
put yourself down. Anyways,
I don't know about that, buddy.
uh,
I
it
don't know
was.
if I caused this to go down, but no, I don't know.
Anyways,
Team Vortex. Team Vortex was the team, and yeah, that's who I am. Now let FB kind of spew off what he is.
yeah. I'm an old school content creator for Gigantic. Putting out some. God, in the original open beta, I was one of those people. I was like handpicked to be a beta broadcaster. By the time that was DG Thor was the person who was like, hey, so he was the community manager before SoFetch was the community manager. I have no idea who the community manager is now because SoFetch was upgraded to client from Gearbox. uh, so yeah, I've been in the game pretty much before the first open beta came out. I've been lucky enough to be like a lot of behind the scenes stuff. Played a lot. Captain, I guess, technically of Team Vortex was on Team
He
EG.
was.
N before that. Was a community outreach partner. Was at TwitchCon for Gigantic in 2016 by Perfect World, and just love the game. I got 751 videos of Gigantic on my channel. It's my game of choice.
And you'll see in this part of the video, I'll put a link, and then you all can click on it or whatever.
Also,
Yeah.
just as everyone needs to know, I have claimed Zenobia. You guys can play her, but like 20, 30 years ago, she was already been claimed. All the rest can like her, but she's mine. and my lovely fiance. We share her. That's how it works.
Yeah, so that's us. We're just a bunch of old dudes that play Gigantic, and we put our perspective into it, and this is kind of our first video together, because I actually haven't done a video with FV. I've been in some of his old videos, but we haven't done like a discussion, and this is kind of exciting, so
Yep.
hopefully we educate as much as we can. All right, so as the main content of this video, we are going over the Gigantic Hero tier list community rankings. This is probably the only tier list that we could find online that is pretty up to date. We don't know to what extent it is a community rankings one, besides what the description says. So the description says the Gigantic Hero tier list below is created by community voting and is the cumulative average rankings from 5 submitted tier lists. Wow. Exciting. The best Gigantic Hero rankings are on the top of the list, and the worst rankings are at the bottom.
I
Any
mean,
idea?
that bottom, some of that bottom, I agree with. I was trying to find the community one that was on the Discord server, and apparently my find foo did not work to hunt it down quickly enough to be able to do this. It's annoying, but like, we'll use this and kind of go off of it and try and talk about it, because let's just kind of, I think, go over the S tier and like which ones belong up there and which ones don't.
Yeah, definitely. Let's go. Let's start off with that. So I'll let you go first, and I'll put my take on it. Like I said, I'm not like that involved in understanding characters. So I like
Woo.
FB when he talks more because he understands more. I play these characters and I just think they're good or bad.
I am going
Based
to
off
I'm
what I
going to put a caveat here. We have been only allowed to play Rampage, and we have had new players who play Rampage. I feel like we need to like split things up a little bit. We're talking about Rampage now.
Yeah,
Uh,
there you go.
and
Yeah.
the most important thing to note is CC, any kind of disruption is kind of king of Rampage. Does it make the character good? No. But Rampage is also the end of Clash, so we can kind of play with it, and we'll probably have to like put caveats on where people are. But Zenobia is not S tier. I
Okay, we'll
love.
start off. Yeah, we'll start off with the purple tentacle lady, as people would
Oof,
know her as
oof, oof.
Tentagamom.
Yep,
Tentagamom.
Tental Mom. Um,
Uh,
I
okay, so
don't.
Effie, how do you feel? Other side than what you just felt right now.
I'm gonna put this out. She has great disruption, makes her pretty good in Rampage because you actually have to hit things off of points to collect power and whatnot. But she's got one disruption. She's got a Q, which is a great disruption. She's got her focus, which is insane in team fights, but could also buff the enemy team. Definitely not S tier. She needs a buff. I think her damage is a little bit low. Her sustain's a little bit low. But we'll talk about that when we get to odd tier list. I'm just gonna put it out immediately. Not S tier. Community, I love you guys, but like really. Woo. Somebody has
And
had a
I'll
bet.
say, oh, for the
Someone has
sake of
fought
time,
my Zenobia because I love
right?
Zenobia and I do
Yeah,
well on her.
right,
And they're like, "Why do I can't kill the Zenobia?" And I'm like,
right.
you know,
For the sake of this time, this portion is just getting this fast. I'll do a thumbs up or thumbs down to the camera to
yeah,
say
yeah, yeah,
who I don't like. So
yeah.
not an S
Go
tier.
for it. Nope,
All right, Rutger.
S tier. Thumbs up.
Thumbs
He
up.
belongs there.
That is true. He's broken and needs to be fixed.
Yep.
Trip.
Thumbs down, and that's my vote. I think I'm put why. I know we're just supposed to be doing thumbs up, thumbs down. Thumbs down. I think people hate stealth characters and feel like they're unfair, and that's why they're an S tier.
Thumbs down for me too. I don't think that she's all that great, to be honest. I think when you actually play against players that know what they're doing, um
There's much better assassins.
Trip gets countered really fast. Against those that don't know to play against Trip, yeah, you're gonna get melted really fast by a really good Trip player.
Mm-hmm.
But those who know to counter her and actually play around her, you just get decimated. I mean, she gets
Yep.
decimated, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, Paco.
For Rampage, S tier. For everything else, I'd put it in A tier. Not that we're doing a thing right now, but S tier for Rampage. So yes, I'll say that's okay for now.
Paco, yes, S tier. His kit overall, his slows, his ability to just get the fuck out of there when he's about to die, his peel, everything is insane.
He's got good health regen and a ridiculous
Yeah.
amount of defense. So like I love him.
All right, Aisling,
Aisling,
Aisling.
something like that.
Sorry.
When I'm not Scottish, you should be afraid. Oh, that was terrible. I'm never doing that again. S tier for Rampage only because disruption and like being able to poke a point as people trying to collect like without any danger to yourself she's great for that. Like she's got enough kit to make it be real annoying in Rampage. Not for Clash.
Thumbs down. I don't think she's S tier.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll explain it where she's at. She's not far
Yeah.
from S.
No, yeah.
And then Mozu.
No, thumbs down.
Thumbs down.
Not S tier.
Thumbs up
S tier's-
S tier.
Ooh, all right. We'll talk about it when we're doing our own list. I think. But,
Yeah, I'm a
like,
Mozu main, so I kind of that one guy that they'll defend him until he's dead. All right, and then the Margrave.
Thumbs down.
Thumbs down. Thumbs down.
He was my primary tank character for too many years. And I'm gonna put this: if he had less bugs, if his long leap didn't send him to the moon sometimes, and his rush didn't sometimes just like mess up, I'd still put him a thumbs down. So
Now that we've explained the S tiers and the thumbs ups and the thumbs downs, the D tier is what
we'll
we're
do
gonna
the
go to.
highs and
We're gonna
lows.
skip.
Is what we're doing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're gonna yeah. Basically, as we said, we're gonna do the highs and lows. We're skipping over the middle sandwich part, the meat, because it's not really. We're gonna do that on our own. The D tier part, though, there's some of those characters there that we don't agree with on this list.
No.
For
No. No.
example, let's start with Zandora. Do you think she's a thumbs up
Oh
or
no,
a
she
thumbs
belongs in
down?
D tier. She belongs in
Okay.
D tier. Whew. I've always wanted to like Zandora, but she's always needed something. I don't know if a kit overhaul is order or like just some tweaking, but no, not a thumbs down. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs down. I don't. I think she's bad. Thumbs up, she's in the right
We're
place.
confused on our thumbs. No, it's
I got two
definitely a
thumbs.
thumbs
I can
down.
do both.
Yeah, thumbs up and down. No, I guess we could say that she's thumbs down. Thumbs down for she stays where she's at.
Yeah. Mhm.
I'll explain that in our list. I like Zandora a lot. I think she's great in some aspects, but she definitely is a D. She's a D. All right, next one, Griselma.
Thumbs down is in she doesn't belong to be in D tier. I don't. I don't know. How much of the actual Rampage did you actually play in the playtest?
I should have disclosed that.
But now we're doing it now.
Yeah, I didn't play the last one, but I played the one before that. That everybody was going crazy over. Yeah. So, but I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos. Almost practically every day I watch a YouTube video about these different characters, and they basically play the same way in some aspects.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I still think Griselma shouldn't be a D. She honestly controls the field really well.
I'm gonna put this out. One of the hardest matches I played was a Griselma who in Rampage just kept taking creatures. And there was by the time you got warned that the creature was in danger, it was at like a third of its health. And like I'm not joking. I was sitting back and I'm like, oh my! I had to play defense on creatures like the rest of the match because there was one granny. Like I think we lost that one, but don't quote me on it. I'm like, okay, Granny is super strong because she can just take 20 power whenever she felt like. I only met one person playing Granny optimally during the entire playtest. She's D because no one understands what the hell you're supposed to be doing with her, I think.
Yeah, that's totally true, and that's the thing is that like I feel like the YouTube videos I've watched are a lot of newer players coming into the scene, which is great. It's honestly cool to see all these newer players come in and start to play the game that we'd like to play and that we love to play. But I think the issue is everybody starts doing the slap build. I personally don't like the slap build. I'm the guy that's like, I don't like using slap build. A lot of people do, but her ability to just shave down objectives and control the field is insane, right?
Yeah.
And then she can dip out. Like if anybody comes towards her, she just gets the heck out of there.
Yep.
So yeah, I don't agree. I think she should go up. I'm giving that a thumbs up for going back up.
Yep.
And then Ezrin.
No,
Ezrin.
that is my son's name. I refuse to. No. He actually, I'm putting out him that he should be in D. Again, I feel like
That's
people
a thumbs
don't.
up.
Yeah, I find Ezrin to be maybe not impactful to the game. He can do a decent amount of damage. He's got amazing survivability. I don't know. I can't see D. Because D needs like heavy duty work.
Yeah, there are some characters in the sandwich area, the meat section of this tier list that I believe should be D, and Ezrin's not one of them.
No.
I definitely think he should be up one more slot. But yeah, that's basically the basic analysis of this tier list. Like I said, we're not trying to crap on this tier list. Whoever came up with this tier list put their time in. We're just giving our own analysis of it, and then now we're gonna give our own. You guys could crap on ours. Go ahead.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
feel free to crap on ours.
Look, we open fair game to discussion. Keep it civil. Keep it nice. We will not do the same. This is rules for us, thee and not for me kind of situation.
Yeah. So yeah, that but we enjoy that people are putting their 2 cents into the community. I think this is great. I think these are
glad
great.
To see how big the community is. Seeing like
Yeah.
the amount of people in the Discord has gotten insane, and I'm here.
As you can see, our tier list has nobody on here. The only difference is our tier list now has a ad running it back. but it also has S minus because we decided that maybe an S minus section would be great because there are some characters that were on the S tier list that might be considered S minus. They're not like there yet at S. They're S
I
minus.
I think our S minus tier is pretty much like in Rampage they're good, or in Clash they're good, but they're not, you know, completely broken at other places. That's where the S minus kind of like lands. Like, yeah, no, they're great in Clash, but like, or Rampage, and but in the regular, like the full on game, I don't think they're gonna be as good. Um, yeah.
So
So
I will also bring this to attention, Effie. Maybe if you want to clarify this, we don't have to. There's 2 new characters that were added to the beta. It's the squirrel or whatever the badger it
oh,
is, and
no,
then
no, 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 no. It's a snake. Oh, snake. You, if you hadn't said it, I would have known. It's like it's a hybrid snake cat. What's it? I know him as Shadow because that's what his old code name used to be, and I'll never ever be able to say his other name.
yes. NDA, bro. NDA. Watch out.
I mean, the Go Gigantic, old Go Gigantic wiki had his name as Shadow, so like, I'm not saying anything that isn't like public knowledge. All right.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I think it's
Okay,
like
and then you
Klapesh or
also have.
something like that.
Yeah, I don't. What's his name?
It's like Kalpesh. It's the hooked uh Egyptian swords, whatever those are called. That's
Oh,
I think that's
okay.
his name. Don't quote me on it because we're not pausing, we're not taking a look. We're doing this live. We're going live.
We're just going out there. This is gonna go straight after. I'm gonna do minor edits on this. I don't care. This
No,
garbage
no, 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 no,
video.
no,
I'm
no,
just
no, no,
kidding.
no.
All right. So look.
S
Then
tier.
we also
Put him
have.
in. Don't even put him in S tier.
Okay, we're not even gonna worry about going to. I was just gonna say we're introducing the 2 new characters, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
No,
how much he
we will.
impacts already. That he's already S tier.
He's broken. He's broken right now. He's woof woof.
FB's foaming from the mouth already.
I
That's
like
not
him.
good.
He's
You don't want to
fun.
get him to that point. And then we'll introduce the second new one. I don't have like
Roland.
I've never played with these 2 actually, so I'm glad FB's able to be here to provide
Yeah.
input. I've actually never. I can only say that
Yeah. Go for it.
this
I'm
character
sorry.
looks like the character from Fable 3, the protagonist,
Okay.
the villain. Sorry, the
The
villain.
antagonist.
Right?
Antagonist.
The antagonist. There you go. He looks at the antagonist. If you ever played Fable 3, you're fighting against your older brother, and it almost looks like they took the exact model and they just copied it and put a scar. Not saying that's what they did, but I'm just saying that's what I remember.
Okay.
Effie, how do you feel about him?
I haven't seen it. I've tried him. I've played him. I've loved Roland for a while. Got to play with him for a while. He has had problems since before beta broke. He was supposed to be in the original roster. And they kept taking him out because he has a grappling hook, which allows him to like pop up to higher places and ground. That was busted at all points. It never worked. I have played around with it recently, and it seems functional. We'll only be able to see on a large map. He is, if anyone doesn't know, Roland is a like bounty hunter. If you read the lore cards, he's actually chasing Beckett right now to try and steal back the jetpack. But like, I'm not joking. I'm a lore nerd, so like, don't worry about it.
no,
He has
no.
he's got a shotgun. He has a pull-in, he has a drone, and he has like bullets. That's, and you can kind of like put together his kit in your mind. Like, it obviously you can go into long range, short range, just bigger shotgun blast. Like, he's fun. But yeah, let's talk about Shadow for a split second because I did just like yell at you to put him in S tier. He's got lots of like invisibility, teleportation, clones that do like, and like they stack about like he's like a snake cat pirate of sorts, and like he can summon like skeleton, like ghostly crew members to like do bonus. If his damage numbers are not like tweaked, he's gonna be bad because like you summon up clones and they do like a percentage of your damage, and you get to attack like and teleport behind targets, and like you're like, oh my god, what the hell? Like, this, I think he's overtuned. That's just gonna be how it is. He's gonna come out, if he comes out in the state that he is currently right now, I'm gonna be like, nah, dog, this is like an auto include on every team.
Wasn't that how Ramsey was when he came out? Ramsey at first time was just like totally
When-
broken, just
when
like
he-
nobody
when he
wanted to deal
came
with him.
out, you talking that he's not right now? What the hell?
Oh, that's right. Okay, never mind. All right, so what about the Fable 3 character? Where do we put him?
I think B tier. I think I'm gonna say B tier for me is he's tuned to where I want to see a character tuned at. He's not overly good. He's not like a every team should be playing with him, but he's also like if he got a buff, it wouldn't be the worst. And that's where I'm putting B tier for myself.
Nice. Okay, so yeah, that's basically that's great. I don't have any input on these new characters, so that's all the input we're gonna get out of those two. So let's move on to the first one in the alphabet, I believe.
Man, yeah, I think so. I think you're. I
Uh,
think it is alphabetical.
I'm gonna butcher her name for the rest of my life. Asling,
Uh-huh. hmm
Aisling, Asling.
Yep. Kador.
Where do you feel FB she should be at? She was on S tier, I think, in the community tier list.
I think she lands solidly in the A tier for Clash, but is amazing at Rampage. So S minus is okay. That's where my heart says. How about you?
Okay, I believe, and so hardly, I believe she's an A minus. A, sorry, not A minus. A.
hmm
I think she like I'm with you. I believe she's in between. She's not S. She's B. She's
Yep.
here
Yeah.
because her kit in general, like, it is really great. You can be I like my criteria is ABA, always be annoying. This game is
Yep.
about being annoying,
Yep.
right? Um, she's super annoying. Sir Cador's annoying. Like
Yeah.
you could be like
You can
minding your
mind
own
your own
business, and
business,
here
and he
comes
comes.
here
Yeah.
comes this invisible like knight that has vengeance for some reason, or I don't know the lore behind it.
Or just
You know,
opening the points up. Like again, she doesn't have to put herself in any danger to just like open a point up for ranged and like kill an enemy creature. Like she and Granny together could probably take down a creature within like 10 seconds.
yeah,
It's ridiculous.
yeah.
So
Always be annoying. Always
always
be
be
annoying.
annoying. hmm
So I'm gonna put her on S minus.
Yep.
I think she is more S minus. Always be annoying. Remember
Yep.
that. All right. Next one, Beckett, the one and only. Where do we
A.
feel she's at? A.
Yeah. My round is A. Like she's good. She might have a little bit too much mobility. Her damage is really good. Being able to switch in between like area range versus short range extra damage is just really good. She's got armor crack, poison if necessary. Like her kit is pretty kitted out.
I'm gonna lose my mind. Okay, so yeah, I mean, I honestly think that um, Beckett is either an A. I did an earlier one on stream before I did this one. I did a tier list on stream about like 5 days ago, about last week maybe, and I put her as an S rank because I think her ability to do a lot of things like her movement, her ulti, just her ability to just get in your face and always be annoying is what makes her S. But after just hearing what uh FB said, and also just doing my own research on other YouTube videos and stuff, I would say she's more A. I actually reside my own opinion about it. I like Beckett a lot for the same reason. I think she's great. Um, and her jump pack, her booster pack allows her to do a lot of
Isn't
stuff that other
yeah.
characters. Her grenade cracks armor. I'm a super cracked armor kind of guy. Like,
Yeah. But put this out. She doesn't have any disruption. She has no
true.
movement ability. She can't push you places, which again in Rampage is so vital. Like high damage is great, but like if you can keep pushing someone off of a point they're trying to collect, you can take one character and stall a point out for a ridiculous amount of time. And Beckett can't do that. I love her. I think she's really
Mm,
powerful, but not there.
true. No, that's true. That's valid. So yeah, we'll place her at A. And yeah, Charlock. Hold on, I gotta do this. I gotta
Go
do
for it.
this.
Take it.
You
All
won't
yours.
agree. You won't agree with this,
No,
but Charnock
absolutely
is an
not.
S, bro.
No.
S. He's S. He's S. I don't care what everybody else says. He's an S in my heart.
I
And I'll explain. I'll explain
go
first,
for
real
it.
fast.
Go for
Okay.
it. Go for it.
So I think always be annoying, right? That's my criteria. Like always be annoying. My whole entire thing is like honestly, Charnock's ability to zone and then create like control is insane, right? You have his slow. You have that slow. I don't know the exact names of the abilities because I didn't do a lot of that research or at least never memorized them. I just know by the how they look. The meteor one, they can turn into a slow. I think it's hot hail or something like that.
I think hot hail. I
Um,
think hot hail is the slow.
the slow. Okay, so you can go both ways with that one. That area
Mhm.
effect. Either way is really good.
The
A lot of
stun.
people
You can
always
get
want
the
this.
meteor
Yeah,
drop.
Exactly. Yeah. You do a lot of damage. You have a reflection. You have the ability to reflect projectiles. You have a get the hell out of there with your dive bomb. Um, I don't like his basic attack where you charge it up to 3. I think that's a waste. Honestly, a lot of people go for that because it does a lot of damage. I've always been the guy that's like, I want to do extra burn damage to people.
I'm gonna
So
say this: the point that you should use the bigger balls of fire. I think it is bigger ball of fire or something. That
yeah.
is, if you have a Sven on the other team that dishes out, uh, not purify. Yeah, purify, which stops all debuffs for like 3 seconds. Burning bleeds and everything else with that with Sven is like really hurts. The reason I won't put Charnock up there, well, good, is any team that is running cleanses and purifies a lot,
Mm,
like like 90% of your damage is dots. Like it
that's
really
true.
hurts Charnock. That's why
Yeah,
I put him
that is
like
true.
maybe I put him maybe as an A tier in my heart. Like um, but that's
Sure, that
why. And
makes sense.
like this is our list though, and you love Charnock, so like he's got like a little asterisk like nepotism.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Like favoritism. No, I
Yeah.
definitely know. That's what I'm saying is that I put him as S tier, but honestly, as a consensus of it, I see a reasoning. I think he is an A. He is an A. Um, I would even say if just to break the middle ground, we could put him an S minus. I still think that like in terms of how
He's
his
much
kit
better
is built and everything.
in Rampage. I'd
Yeah.
be willing because you can get that pushback with his R&B. You can get the dive bomb where you can like knock people off of points. I could put him as an S minus, but in my heart, he's like low A tier no matter what. Again, if we want to play
Yeah.
that way, put him in S minus because you love him.
Yeah. Right. That's what I just figured. You know what? I'll just do it, and I'll deal with it later on.
Mm.
We'll deal with it later on. All right. Give me a second. Okay. Next one is Ezrin. How do we feel about Ezrin?
I I like Ezra. I have a little more of a like love because I look. Gigantic died. My fiance and I were like, "Hey, what are we gonna call our kid?" And like she wanted Voden. We finally settled
Yeah.
on Ezrin. So like
I'm glad. I'm glad. I'm
um
sorry. I think Ezrin's a better name to vote in, to be
yeah,
honest.
it's good. It's good. I would put him quietly into like the low end of B tier, upper end of C tier. Um, he's got an okay immobilize. If teammates group, his ability to use Soulfire in like a group area can be ridiculous.
Yeah.
He does deceptive amount of damage, has amazing sustain, good escape. But I think he's a little bit harder to play, so put him in upper C for me. For me.
You know, you're right. And I'll place him at C right now and kind of give my take. Honestly, I think he's better than what the community list had was that he was on D, right? And
Hmm.
that's why I was saying he needs to go up more because he is kind of a CB. Um, in terms of like always be annoying, right? My
Hmm.
criteria. Um, if you get his like his ability where he's doing splash damage with a basic attack, I see Ezrein more as like a support ranged. He does a lot of damage, but Ezrein is gonna be back there. He's gonna be behind
Hmm.
in the back line. He's gonna be waiting for his melees to charge in, and he's gonna be doing all that damage. He does a pretty good amount of damage. He doesn't do a lot of damage to be honest, but what he does, like Effie was saying, if he does those right combos and he does all that stuff, it is amazing how well he does. Um,
I think, and the other point is that he can restore his health probably better than any other character. Um, if you hit
yeah.
like the group soul siphon, I think you can get like 200 to 300 health back in like a single LMB. Because every soul gives you like 50 back if you and it can hit multiple things. If you have enough people grouped up on a point, taking a point like on ramp, and
Hmm.
piercing shot, like, ooh, sorry, it could be wild the amount of health he gets back.
Yeah.
He's always be annoying. You can't kill him. He's his health just
You
pops back up.
literally, literally. And his escape, right? Okay. So the scenario is with Ezrein. If somebody, if you're playing against a team that has a lot of anti heal, it almost doesn't really matter for Ezrein because he just gets out of there.
Hmm.
And then if he has poison on him or something or anti heal, like oh well, okay, it's a debuff. I'll just get out of there and let it wear off, right? The
His
healer
Q can
doesn't
make him
have to really.
intangible.
Yeah,
I think it's the
yeah,
only ability in the game that lets you pass through other people.
yeah.
There's a couple of dashes that do so, but like as a like I am now able to move through you. Try to body block me.
And this is a huge part about it is that like if a trip is backlining your backline, right, and which is Ezrin's gonna be at, or it's gonna kind of be in the middle, kind of be in front line too, but he'll be backline mostly. And I say that because, well, I say he's more of a hybrid. But yeah, I retake what I
Yeah.
said because he has to be in range for his basic to work to reach. You got to get your basic attacks in order to do almost all the other abilities.
Hmm.
But once you get that, you can kind of pop back out and then use your abilities, right?
Yeah.
Um,
You
the
really want
the
to be
back
living on
if
that mid range.
yeah, if you have like a Woo or a Trip or a Taito, and they're doing a great job at just being annoying in the backline, right? Ezra could just use his escape to get out. Like he just pop it, and then I'll say like, hey, like tank, come help me out, or one of our melee peel, like there's
Yeah.
somebody. He gets out. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. He's still really bad. I don't think he's gonna go up to B. I just think that
No.
people
He
play him the right way. He will do the damage that you need to win team fights.
if Ezrin gets into his preferred combat style, I put him up to like an A tier. If he isn't in his preferred combat style, like he is well low on the C tier. That's kind of like if you don't have like the perfect scenario for Ezrin, he's not as good as other people, but he can excel probably up to like S minus when like everything is like when the stars align, it's perfect. He works, but that's all I'm gonna say about him.
No, I mean that I totally believe it. All right, so next one, Griselma was a D tier. Where does she go next?
No,
FB.
no, no, no. That's your baby. I got Zenobia as my waifu. This is your wife. I know
Well,
how you
okay,
go.
so when I was playing Gigantic in 2017, 16, all that, I'd used Griselma quite a while. Not quite a while, a little bit more than I thought I would actually end up using her. I liked her a lot. I didn't do a slap build. A lot of people like using slap build because it's just you're there, you put down your hands, you put down your summons, and then you slap it around, and they never die, right?
Yep.
Um, Overall, always being annoying. She, I believe, is a B tier. I think B or I want to say A. She's like for me, it's either a B or A or B. I don't want to be like a fence sitter on this, but like I think
B
in
plus.
general, like yeah, it's a
Yeah,
B plus.
top of B, top of B. I think she's gonna be top of B.
Yeah, her her ability to just be annoying is crazy. Like her portal, everything she does is annoying, and then she gets cooldowns like up the wazoo.
Yeah, no,
Her ulti's nothing. Her ulti's a disruption, and it does a lot of
not
damage if you're just standing there. Her
not to throw
ability to
people on the
zone.
bus. I
Hmm.
was watching a all gigantic no commentary playthrough. And I was watching this, like the person didn't know like all the characters. He was just kind of showing them off. But when he played Griselma, I don't think I saw more than one hand go down in an entire 10-minute match. And like if that's how people are judging her, like yeah, no, she belongs in the upper B because especially in Rampage where she can just take a creature whenever she feels like. An adult bloomer goes down in like 10 seconds. You hear the message, by the time you get back to it, it's at like half to quarter health, and then if she has one other teammate by her, that creature's dead. There's zero you can do about it unless you're a Vadasi. So no, 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 no. Like she straddles A to B.
And I just had something come up to my head. I don't know why. But yes, I think honestly the same thing, right? I think she is a B plus.
Yeah,
Um,
put her ahead
she
of
is
Roland.
strong.
Put her ahead of
Yeah,
Roland. Move her over
put her
one.
ahead.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
All right, HK. I'll let FB go because
Uh,
FB loves HK.
I love HK. S or S minus. And I'm gonna say why. I have a whole video about HK. Called "Do You Want
True.
to Be a Hellcat with HK?" That explains this the best. HK has the highest damage rotation ability ever. If you're just using the LMB like your Bastion, and I know I complain about this all the time, like you're playing HK wrong. You hit a mortar, you hit a railgun. Both of those together. If you fire the mortar, charge your railgun, which is like a second charge, and hit with that, you do like 1700 damage. In the time, if they don't see the mortar coming, and the first reaction they have is getting hit by the mortar, the railgun comes right off. It's a split-second damage output. 1700 damage with the burns included is just it. The Margrave has like 2100 health, so he has like it's like three-quarters of his HP gone. Like it's an insane number. Obviously you have to take armor into consideration, but like that's crazy. He has no mobility, but taking points, hitting enemies, always be annoying, is HK.
Definitely. Definitely. That's where I'll kind of transition in. HK, from the very first time I played Gigantic, I was like, this character's broken and annoying. Super annoying, super broken. The Fortify, everything makes this character the most annoyingest character, I will say, for me. And I don't know if I said that before about other characters. I might say that again later on in this video, so don't quote me on that. Um, but I know I just because of my experiences, I've hated HK. But it's because my hate isn't like saying HK is bad. My hate is saying HK is really good. And I'll link that video down in the description of FB's video. So go ahead and go check it out. You'll learn a lot about it. Yeah, he's an S minus. He's for sure.
Yep.
I would even say debatably he could be an S. I think in my, like I said in the past stream that I did when I did my own tier list, yeah, I put him as an S because he is annoying. He's annoying. He
The
counters a lot of these
I'll
characters.
No, very well. I will put this out immediately. The only issue I have with putting him up in the S tier is his lack of mobility. His
Yeah,
ability to, if he gets caught out, he's dead. He does have a lot of health. I think he's technically in the bruiser class of armor, which means he has an amazing amount of armor. He can get no crits. If you do not take the fortification upgrade that doesn't let you ignore pushes, pulls, and other movement, a Wu can just pull you off point and like that's it. That's the end of your thing. You're not escaping from a Wu into a team fight.
no, true. So that, yeah, that's definitely it. Now,
And yeah.
oh, okay, you have something else
No,
to
no,
say?
no, no. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Good.
You
Let's
good?
get money.
Okay.
Let's get money.
Let's keep going then. All right, so
S tier.
Imadi S tier, yes.
Especially
Yes.
depending upon the map. I just tested this out this morning, like 4 hours ago. A level 1 focus from Amani, all 3 shots hit, takes Mozu from full to 0 health.
That's scary. That is really scary.
I was shocked. Like you have to hit all 3 shots. But like that's a level 1 focus. I have not tested like a level 2 to 3, but it was just I just wanted to see what it looked like. Because another character we'll talk about later, I was trying to figure out like how much damage and like I think it's the highest damage focus if all of it hits at once is Amani and sits in the back line, really hard to disrupt.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
in Rampage, she's even worse. I thought she would be better because things are tighter, but you can't get off points to get to her, and she can just sit in the back line.
I will say that she is an S tier because when people start using aimbots and stuff, they're just gonna be decimating the whole field.
Ugh,
I hope that doesn't happen.
if that does, and you can't kill her.
Yeah,
Like it's
yeah,
hard to
you
kill her.
can't.
The
You
smoke
can't.
bomb, with the jumps and everything, like what are you gonna do? You can't do anything. Like, there's definitely an Amani build that's going to dominate. But yeah,
She's gonna be relevant for a long time until they decide to nerf her. She
mhm,
is
mhm.
because she like FB was saying, there's a lot of characters on this list and down here and up here that get one tapped very fast by her, and good players that are gonna be good at using her. I don't know if controller will still have aim assist. Um,
It looks like it they do. But yeah,
yeah,
do you
okay,
remember
so yeah.
playing? We can remember playing like competitive. I think was it Schmoog that was the really good Amani that we like. I don't think he had any deaths like the entire competitive match. And like just Sanctum Falls. You're on Sanctum Falls, and it was just you're like I
Yeah,
hate this. I hate
yeah,
playing this.
you're just there. You're annoyed the whole entire time.
You
She's
can't.
the queen of being annoyed.
Like you could not take River. Like River, you like the River's theirs. We'll fight everywhere that isn't River when there's an Amani.
Yeah,
Like that's a
yeah.
lot of power.
Oh, definitely. All right. So next one on the list is the Nasus. I will start this off because I actually like
Mhm.
Nasus. Nasus, I
Go for it.
believe, is an A.
Okay. I
Um,
I think I think he's a B, but like
mhm.
go ahead. Give me your analysis and we'll see how we
Well,
feel.
my whole entire thing is Nasus is like kind of a brawler. I mean, compared to the other brawlers, right? If he's a brawler,
Mhm.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's a brawler.
Um, it's kind of like one of those things where he does the bleed damage. The bleed build is insane. His
Mhm.
ability to slow and kind of control as a frontliner, he's not going to go in there and be the tank. If you're going to play Nasus as a tank, then you're kind of something's going on.
No.
You're not going to
No,
do
he's
that.
not
But
tank.
his ability to then go in there and be annoying next to the tank is insane. Now, does he have a lot of shortcomings? He does. He doesn't have a dash. he only has a running ability. So if you use
I mean, it's a
his
dash. His Q is technically a dash. It's a short dash, but like, yeah.
yeah. Well, I mean, like in sense of like it's gonna push you forward. You know what I mean? It's gonna
Hmm.
push you away. It's really just a Q that pops and it gives you a speed boost, right? Unless I could be
No,
wrong
that's
if I forgot.
yeah, that's the E, but that's fine. That's
That's the E. What?
yeah.
Why am I blanking on the?
It's Gore
Oh, the E.
and
Yes, that's right. Yes, you're right. You're totally
mhm.
right. He rams. He rams. You're right. Yes.
He has a
Yes,
he
he
has a
has that.
short dash.
He's a
It's
short
probably the
dash. That's
shortest
right.
dash that we have in the game.
Yes. That's why I
But
was like so confused. I was like trying to remember what is it? Yeah. So you're right. I don't know. I think it's just he might be to me. I feel like he's stamina intensive.
hmm
And that's what is
because
kind of giving
yeah.
him away. But
He
yes,
is
Lexi, go ahead.
extraordinarily stamina intensive because he's his all of his bleed abilities, and his bleed build is, I think, the best build he has. Is all stamina intense. You need to be sprinting, I think, dodging to get like the most out of the build. Which very quickly runs out. Your E can restore some stamina, which is fine, but it's a very small amount of stamina.
Yeah. Yep.
You have to try to get out of combat. You don't see a lot of Gnosis players, and even more so, you don't see a lot of good Gnosis players. Um,
That's
the ones
true.
that you do see is like they go in and they die, and that's just kind of like the walk around.
Yep.
But the good Gnosis player is frightening because bleed damage is goes through armor. It ignores armor completely. So any of the tanks, any of the other brawlers, like he's a brawler to fight brawlers, if that makes sense. And if you're not having a lot of brawlers on the enemy team, he's a little bit less good.
Definitely. No, that's definitely no. I honestly think that's what it is. Now let's get into a tank. Speaking of tanks, Margrave. I think Margrave is the first tank that we're doing.
They're putting Gnosis as a tank, but like he's not.
Yeah,
He-
that's. I just noticed that too.
uh,
That is kind of funny.
I think that's like the brawler tag, and brawler kind of encompasses tanks and like frontline and
That's
off tanks. We'll
true.
call it. He's closer to an assassin than he is to a tank, but. Margrave is the first tank. He has the most health out of anyone on the thing. I'm gonna very quietly say he's not from his kit, not from everything else, C tier because of bugs.
You know what? I agree. I agree. I think he. Well, I said before that I think he should go up. I think did I? I don't remember. I have to look back. Um, but it's kind of tough because the end deal is that his bugs do affect him a lot. The bugs that are around all his abilities. His ulti
Have you
sometimes
seen
procs. Or
it
yeah,
doesn't go off?
but,
Have you
yeah,
seen
it doesn't
the
go
longer
off.
leap? There's been a
Yeah,
couple
actually,
times
yeah,
he just
yeah, I
goes to the
have.
moon. I
Yeah.
once jumped from the middle of the map and I used the longer leap. Um, and I had thought, and I couldn't figure out how. I went all the way back to the airship with like in the middle of the map, and I was like,
Oh
what?
my
What
god.
just? I was like, what happened here? I
He's a
wish I had
space
recorded it, but
Margrave now.
I was just like, you know what? And again, you can't hit his abilities, even if. And I'm gonna let's put him as a C tier as an idea that he needs to be fixed. If he was working
Yeah.
correctly, I'd probably put him in the B tier.
Yeah, honestly, I think I'm gonna say the same thing. I know the frustrations I had with Margrave is that if somebody wants to CC out of your ult, they'll do it, right? So
Hmm.
Margrave takes you like, you know what I mean? Like,
Ground and
starts
pound.
yelling. Yeah, and he ground pounds the ground. But if somebody disrupts you like a woo or something, they do their like spinning kick.
Yep.
Um, it
You can
disrupts your
dodge it.
ulti, and
The
yeah, and you can
ability to
dodge the ulti.
dodge.
That's right. Yeah.
You can dodge everything that. And again, Margrave telegraphs so hard that the ability to do that is just insane. I was playing with Evil Drawing, and he kept trying to jump at me at point as I was channeling, and I was just sitting there like waiting. I'm like 1, 2, 3, dodge, and he missed, and I kept doing decent amount of damage to him. Um, the fix to that, I think, is kind of simple. Is just increase the speed that his abilities come out, and that would be it. That'd be all you need to do with a game with
Yeah.
iframes. It's a little bit hard on a slow brawler. But I
I,
love Margrave, so
yeah, and I'll end it with this. I think his ulti just needs to be reworked in general. I think it's a great ulti, but I think there needs to be like something else that pushes it forward. Um, it it
ooh,
it
I
works a
would
lot,
love
but I think it needs to be reworked.
if we're going to say what we'd like to see, I'd love to see Margrave have a slight pull in to everything in the area, and then a put, and then the
Mm,
stun. Just like a vacuum, like as he
yes.
does, like maybe like I love his ground and pound, and it's really good. But like if we had to talk about like what to make him into like a great character, that's what I like.
Yeah, that actually does sound like a good idea. I actually like that. All right. So now we move into Mozu. I will automatically put him into the S tier and keep him there.
You
Um,
who?
Mozu.
Mozu is a fine ass lady, and you will.
Oh, Mozu's a dude? Is not a dude?
No, Mozu's a she.
Oh,
We've been playing gigantic for 7 years, and
no.
you go for it.
She. Now that I've learned, chat. Don't discredit me. I've said a lot of things that I didn't know of until this point, but I know what I'm talking about. All right, kind of.
You know
All
the
right,
mechanics.
I know. Yeah, I know the mechanics. So Mozu, she does. She. Oh my god, I'm gonna be saying he the rest of my life.
I
Sorry.
know.
She is great at what she does. The vortex is a great way to keep the heart from taking projectile damage for not pretty long time, but a short amount of time. Um,
Reflection.
the teleportation is insane. You just teleport out. If you're getting bullied by somebody, you just teleport out. Um,
Yeah.
the basic attack is a AFK basic attack. You just point and shoot. You don't gotta do anything. The disruption beam is insane. I mean, that stops people from collecting if you go that way. There's also a way where you can it recharges after every kill, I think, or something like that. I forgot already. The ulti. I mean, the ulti is kind of like HK's ulti. We didn't go over HK's ulti. We haven't gone over most
Let's
of the
not
ultis.
let's not go over
Yeah.
HK's ulti. It's so
Um.
sad. I love it, but it's a pedal bit. As I said in my video, it does like half the like a level 1 focus does half the damage of your mortar railgun shot. Like,
mhm.
I'm sad. It makes me sad.
Yeah. Yeah. So Mozu's ulti is like HK's ulti, I believe. It's
A little
not
bit more
like
short range, a little more
yes and
target area. Yeah.
yes, and the issue that happens is that it it's really strong because it is, but it's not at the same time. I think it's broken. I don't entirely feel like Mozu's ulti is like fully there. I think it misses. I've had several times where like I would use a level 3 ulti in a group of people, and obviously it's more of like a straight shot kind of move. It's not gonna get everybody. But
Mhm.
even then, it didn't kill somebody in one go. And now, like I said, these are only some of my experiences. Some of you may have had better experiences where you actually melted somebody, made them quit, like erased the game, totally didn't want to play Gigantic again with Mozu. But I played Mozu a lot. Personally, I like Mozu's Omega Bolt. That's like the
Yeah.
last upgrade for, or one of the upgrades for the basic attack. Most people don't like that. They like the continuous one where you just keep holding down left
Omega
mouse
Bolt
button.
does less damage per second, but
Yeah.
it has a
Yeah, it
very
does.
interesting gameplay mechanic. I like
I,
Omega Bolt. It's not good, if that makes
mhm.
sense. Like,
It's not. It's not. It's total dog crap. It's dog trash. I like doing it because I like being annoying and I like going through 5 people and then getting the person in
mhm.
the back, and then they're taking
And it
300 damage for no reason. Like
yeah, mhm.
that's my
And
problem.
I think it gives shock too, doesn't it?
It does. I think it's a
And
major
like
shock.
shock is a very interesting mechanic that it does. It hits somebody, it does a little bit of damage, and then like a couple of seconds later, it does damage in an area around them. Especially against new players that are grouping up real tight and they see like a shock and then standing next to somebody, the damage can add up pretty quickly.
True,
But
brother. True. All right. So what's your take?
I think this is where you and I are going to differ the most. I
Mm-hmm.
think Mozu's B, like,
Ye-
good but not fantastic. Um, like again, maybe like lower. Okay, I put him lower A. I put lower A, upper B. Because again, everything that you've said is all there. Um, Mozu does not, in my opinion, feel impactful in the long-term effects of a match. Um, can do a lot of damage, can do a lot of this and that, but relies on a lot of, I want to say, stationary targets. Um, can be disruptive with the shield that like vortexes people in. Great ability, especially like on Clash, on not Clash, on Rampage. Um, but it's just not as impactful as like an HK, um, even like a Beckett. Like a Beckett, I feel like can be more across the battlefield, can like really
Yeah.
control a point better. So like an S tier, again, lower A, upper B.
Yeah, that's no, like I totally see it. I wonder if a lot of people who did it on the community tier list, just like Mozu. A lot of people just like Mozu as a character.
Oh, I love Mozu. She
Yeah,
again, like she has like the most fan art of her of any character. Like,
yeah,
and I'm
yeah.
so like everyone likes Mozu, so I think they're ranking her higher. The same reason why everyone hates Trip, so they ranked her high as well. She's like, well, I hate when someone's invisible and just murders. Anyway, no,
Yeah.
I think we're about
No,
right
no,
on
no,
that.
no. Those are all things. I mean, yeah, Mozu. That's the rundown for Mozu. Now we have Oru.
Yeah,
How do you feel about Oru?
A low A.
That's interesting, actually. What do they do for? Hold on, I'm gonna go back to the community tier list. What
Yeah,
do they
I
say?
think
Mozu B.
about
Yeah,
where we put her,
yeah.
put him.
I would just gonna say the same thing. I thought it was a her.
No, I believe Oro is a he. If you're looking at the thing like the fortune teller, it says like Oru is the guy is the person who made the cards. He enjoys mischief. So I believe in the lore.
Oh,
I could be mistaken. Oru is a he. But again, doesn't matter. Um, Oru has a lot of interesting abilities. Has a lot of. I put him more in a support category than like a DPS category because he has the traps. He's got like the slows. He's got a decent amount of stuff all at a long cooldown, um, can be disrupted out of his focus real easily. I want to like Oru better, like I really do. But I think as an impactful character in a game, um, not there.
I'm the same. I think it's A as well. I think Oru does a good job at being that support ranged that is
Mhm.
annoying because of the armor breaks, all the debuffs, the
He
ability for
gets a
the
curse
ulti.
too.
Yeah, yeah, the ability for the ulti to if you're below 50%. I mean, it's almost. I think it's like if you're at 50%, I don't think it kills you. I
No.
think it's below 50%, almost going towards more 30%. You're automatically dead. So your
Well,
healer, say you're in a
mm,
team fight and everybody's low, your healer's now trying to prioritize who am I gonna heal so Oru's ulti doesn't kill them, right?
mhm.
If I'm a Sven, I'm over here saying I gotta throw my liquid pool of magic to heal whoever can. Everybody get into the circle before you get
Like,
clapped on.
but I'm gonna put this
Um,
out with Oro. Yeah, with Sven, you use Sven. You try to heal everybody up. Uh, you could instead just throw your bounce puddle up, which interrupts, and Oro stops spinning.
yeah,
Like,
that's the issue. Or yeah, that's the issue as well.
but like if Oro does it in the background, hits you with a couple of cards, and then backs up instead of continues going forward, like that clap can really hurt.
Yeah, so that's what I'm basically saying is that like it's crazy to think that like Oru. I know I'm gonna be playing Oru more going
Hmm.
into the new game. I'm gonna be playing Oru like crazy because I see the potential there. When you're playing with a really good team, Oru's that character that will secure the kill. You don't need to actually have an assassin that goes in there and gives 10 power because they made a mistake and they died. Oru kind of does that. And it's annoying. It's just always being annoying. If you have to be worried about an ulti one tapping you because you're below 50% health or whatever, that's annoying.
Yeah, you have to
Right?
you have to change how you're playing the game. Because if
Okay.
the Oro can just go into the air and clap you at like, even if you're at 25%, like the Oro tags you, like you're like this is probably my death.
Yeah, it's like I guess I'm dead. Like, yeah, that's true. Um, the Paco. So this one, where do we feel Paco is?
Uh, at my heart of hearts, he's S because I love that poor boy. Um, I think I put him in S minus because I think he's better in Rampage than he is in Clash. Um, he has long
Yeah,
cooldowns.
yeah,
He has long cooldowns. Um, but his area effect, his disruption, the snowballs, like you can pretty much cover an entire point in a snowball and like threaten the entire damn thing if you get the bigger snowball. The ones that stick so that anyone who groups up has like huge issue. Like he's fun. He's just a lot of fun, and like if you play him right, he's almost unkillable. Obviously, pulls disruptions and whatnot can really break him out of that. But he floats like I don't know. he's better in Rampage. That's all I'll say. He's one of those weird characters. I think he's technically a B, but because he have Rampage in a Clash mode, he's going to pull himself up to like to the S minus.
I honestly think S minus is a good fit. I would even negotiate saying it's an S, but right now S minus seems to be a good fit. Um,
S is kind of just
I
broken.
yeah, and that's what I'm saying is that I think that he is broken in the level of the ability to get around and to support and to be a tank. His ability
Mhm.
to his ulti is amazing. His ulti, if you're in a coordinated team and you're attacking the
For anyone who
if
doesn't
you're
know, his
attacking the
ultimate
heart,
just like gives him some, I think, health and honor, and then turns anybody in an area after a couple of seconds into a snowman with a shield. And if you break the shield, you do lots of damage. And like
yeah.
you throw a Paco that freezes everybody, and then an HK that hits like everybody and breaks their shield correctly. Like that's a lot of damage. That's not like I don't want to say the highest damage ult because we've kind of slapped Amani with that one. Um, but like it's probably the biggest AoE esque damage that you can get with like one ult.
I would even say too that going off of that is that if you plan out with a really well team, like you say, hey, Paco going out, and you don't hit if you don't break their armor, right? You don't break the
Mhm.
snowmen. You guys have a full lane to just attack the heart for a
Yeah,
couple seconds.
or escape.
It's
I think we've a
an
couple of
escape,
our
yeah,
games like we people are chasing the low people in his Paco. I was able to hit them in the back, and like we were able to get out because of that and
yeah.
just slide past him. Like yeah, Paco's great. I love Paco.
Don't hit them. Just use it as a peel. That's all you gotta do. And then if you pair that up with Zenobia ult, you have more range, right? Like say you only get 3 people with Paco's ult, and then you use Zenobia's ult, you get the whole team, and now you're able
Hmm.
to just attack the heart. It's
Hmm.
crazy. You know what I mean? It's a crazy combination. That's why I think he is an S minus, right?
Yeah,
We're ranking him less than the community tier list. But then
I
again,
think so.
I think people put him as an S on the community one because everybody likes Paco. He's one of those characters that
Yeah,
everybody
yeah,
loves.
yeah, yeah. And he's
Ram
excellent in
yeah.
Rampage.
Ramsey.
Hold on, bleep me on this in the when you're actually putting out. All right,
Okay.
fuck Ramsey. S tier,
Yep.
no doubt.
Yep.
There's
Those
a
eyes
good
tell you otherwise.
I'm gonna put this out. Like, as the character is an asshole. If you read his lore, he's a dick. Like, I'm not joking. And his kit follows it perfectly. No, he like got Wu into a gang. Like, he's a gang. Like, anyways, it's like a lot of it's like killing people with point. Anyways, not the point. He's a jerk, and his kit follows it. Um,
Yep.
I'm kind of upset with Ramsey, and I'm gonna put it out because like the queen of debuffs was supposed to be Zenobia. She was supposed to have it, but I think Ramsey can apply bleed, slows, poison,
Yep.
better than Zenobia. He's a brawler, which put does he actually have the
Doesn't
assassin pack?
die.
He doesn't die. He has an ult that makes him invisible, but does area effect poison damage. Cracks armors, has deflects, like his kits and the dodge. The real issue is the dodge. It's on like a 4-second cooldown where you get a free dodge instead of spending 20 stamina, which means that you can only technically dodge 5 times until you're out of stamina, usually, which has iframes. Ramsey every 4 seconds or so can do a dodge and just get an extra iframes for no stamina. His only weakness is bad mobility. And he can just
Yeah.
kind of like walk.
He
I
walks
get
out.
angry with Ramsey.
He just walks out. He doesn't care. He's like, I don't care. You're gonna do your little attack on me. I'm just gonna walk out. Like, it doesn't. I'm just gonna jump around. No,
And I'm playing
I'm on the
HK
same boat.
with the rail gun, and I have tried to put
Mhm.
a shot into a Ramsey just walking away, and like without looking at me, he just dodges because he it comes off cooldown, and I've missed, and I'm like, why is that? That's like a zero play around. Anyways, I have
This
problems with
was
Ramsey.
I 100% believe this is like Motiga's middle finger to all the community. Was like, you know what? We're closing down anyways, so we're gonna put Ramsey in the game. I think honestly, like I think he needs to be up here. To be honest, I don't know. Like I said, you
Nope,
know more about the new
nope.
characters.
One down, one down.
One down, one down. Okay, one down. I
Yeah,
think it's just because like yeah.
Shadow's going to be the new Ramsey. I
Okay,
Less
that's
things
even worse to
change.
know. Okay, but yeah, he just like he will in competitive play. I think they always chose a Ramsey because he's that. If you have
Hmm.
a good Ramsey player, and you're always gonna beat those people online, they're like, I get 20 kills with the Ramsey. I'm so good, bro. Play another character, they don't know how to do it. Um, Ramsey's gonna be that player, that character for new players. So new
Yeah,
players feel good
if you
about
play like
themselves.
League of Legends and you played like Jax like only or like Blitzcrank, AP Blitzcrank, like look how good I am. That's your character. Ramsey's gonna be your
Yes,
character.
yes. Ramsey's your character for self-esteem. He's always be annoying king. Always be annoying king. Always
Hmm.
be annoying queen. All
Yep.
right.
And again, Ramsey
Um,
also he's like, oh, he's a short range fighter. He can every time he dodges, he can his LMB is like mid range, which is about just a little bit shorter than like a beam from Zenobia. It's bad. It's just wild.
it's horrible.
Anyways,
It's
let's move
just
on. Let's
yeah.
move on. Let's
Let's
not
move
talk
on.
about.
Yeah. Oh, look at this. Another one that's also
Oh,
broken.
right back on the ST.
We're back on the S tier Rutger, and actually we'll put him
Probably
over
right
here.
below Amani. No, I'd say
Oh, you
Rutger,
can,
while excellent, um, Amani is kind of
still
I
better.
think
Yeah.
yeah, except for in Rampage, and in more specifically Ember Grove. Um, Rutger is a high health tank target. He uses shields. Probably the is like the main character that you'll know for shields. I think a couple other characters get it. Does get it. Don't know about anybody else, like off the top of my head. Um, Obviously Paco gives people's enemy shields, but Rutger's shields, which takes 80% of the damage and applies it to the shield while you only take 20% in health. He only has like 1,000 HP before the shield, but you increase that by like 80% because he's wild. He's
Doesn't
fun.
die either.
Yeah, he's got a great escape, and more importantly, if you go his R&B is tremors, which means he slaps the ground in like this line. Um, if you have the ability to disrupt anything, it's a short range cool. It's a short cooldown too, but there is a wall in Ember Grove. I found this out because he and HK are like the only people who can do this. The entire like middle point is like surrounded with a couple of choke points.
Yeah.
He can stand behind a wall and project this interrupt through the wall, which means there's zero chance for him to get stopped in this unless you send someone around and then and just interrupt the point almost infinitely. It's frustrating. His ultimate is amazing for disruption. He just runs around like a gerbil on a wheel and like tackles everybody. It's
Yep.
crazy. He's and I think the bug where he can get hit like multiple times in a row with the wheel is still technically present, which can do insane damage. So like Rutger's broken. Rutger needs fixes.
I think on top of that too, like what what really stands out is his ability to kind of get to the back line and the front line extremely fast. And be able to peel. That's what we're kind of talking about. That's what Effie was talking about too, is that peeling, the ability to be
Hmm.
disruptive, annoying, always be annoying is there. I would even
Yes.
say here's a word of warning, because there's gonna be a lot of new players that are gonna play Rutger and feel like on top of the world, right?
Hmm.
Kind of a warning. Do not use your Rutger ulti if a Mozu or any other person's using a strong ulti, because you'll push that target out of the way.
Hmm.
Yeah, and it will destroy. It will mess up the damage that a
Yeah.
Mozu does, that anybody does, because you're pushing them out of the way. Your ulti will push people out of the way.
Yeah.
Your ulti is
Yep.
just to disengage and and possibly get a follow up kill, like if somebody's running away.
Yeah.
But if you're in a team fight, you do not use it to initiate. Do not,
No.
because unless you know the rest of your team's like saying, "Hey, we're not going to use our ultis," then you
Yeah.
don't use it.
You
Right?
need
Then
to
you use
coordinate
it.
it. I'd say
Yeah.
for like solo play, like be very careful with your Rutger ult.
Yeah.
Sven, talk about Sven. I think that was an easy one.
Finesse.
I want to
Right?
say I want to put him in S minus. I think he is
Okay.
better in Clash in Rampage, because again, area effect heal is the like only one that has a good one. Ashling has like a small one over time, but he has cleanses, purity. It's bad. Sven is just a little bit overtuned as a healer, and he can do some crazy ass mobility stuff with his team. I don't think he's the best healer.
I don't think so either, but I think his ability to produce armor, and then if you wanted to go damage and do the healing and do all that stuff, on top of it, his ulti is another ulti that transforms people to snails for a
Yep.
couple seconds. I think he is S minus, and that's what I'm saying, is that I think it's amazing that he is the way he is.
No.
He's not the best healer. He's definitely not.
No, and I think in Clash he's worse. And I'm gonna point this out. He works when there's a lot of people grouped. So the smaller the map, the better Sven becomes. In big open maps, he very quietly becomes like B tier because you can't like hit your target well. If you throw a pool on the ground and you guys have to retreat, you're probably retreating like a longer distance in big maps, so that cooldown is wasted. Um, and he is super cooldown dependent. So like he's
Yep.
great,
Yep.
but he also, while able to change like a fight, is also kind of that same like it's a mark against him. The AoE like on the ground stuff is the best when it works. It's terrible when it does not. I mean, think about it. You're Beckett, like in flying around, you cannot get healed by Sven.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. That's definitely yeah. And I agree with all that. All right. Next one, the
Slapping an S.
Matt of T.
Just slapping
Where are we
an S.
putting? Just slap him an S. There you
Slapping
go.
an
Yep.
S. Nah, she's overtuned right now. Again, when I was talking about like the Amani ult, doing an insane amount of damage. Um, I wanted to figure. I took T-Mat out, got a level 1 focus, and again fought a Mozu bot. The focus, which you can gain really fast,
Yeah. Yeah. That's true.
brought down to a quarter of the Mozu's health with a level 1 focus. Um, any follow up will kill the Mozu, easy peasy. It's the focus is an escape. It is a engage. It is high damage. It is mobility, and T-Mat has every like the lock on rockets. Great. She can fly away and pretty much if you should not be able to kill a T-Mat. Period. End of discussion. With the as long as the Q is off cooldown because the distance you can get on that is crazy. Um, Single target, multiple targets, however you want to build her, she's good.
Yeah. And I'm gonna leave the input to FB because I haven't done much TMAT stuff, so I can't even put. I've watched videos, but I just agree that it is S tier because I've seen the kit. I've seen how people have played it on a lower level
Yeah.
of experience of playing Gigantic, and just seeing those people play it. It's like, dang, dude, these people like are just doing work and they don't know what they're doing. Because T-Mat does that. T-Mat is one of those beginner player characters that will make the newest player look like a god. All right.
Low skill, low skill floor, low skill ceiling. To be great with Tiamat is not going to be much more difficult to be good at Tiamat. You're going to walk in with Tiamat and be like, as soon as you understand the basics of her abilities, that's it. You're done. You don't have to think about anything. You don't have to think about Sven like, oh, if I want the fire pool, I have to use the Q, then the fire, and it has to be perfectly timed. Oh, I want to hit the Q and the E for his armor. Like, there's a lot of like interest. T-Mat's just like, okay, I hit people and I do this and I do tons of damage and then I just get out. Like, it's a Rudka of assassins, ranged assassins.
Right.
Where we are.
Right. That's what it was. That's what it was sounding like. Honestly. All right. Now we go into a true assassin. Actually, is this one of the first? No, we had this person was assassin.
B.
The Trip, the one and only Electric Boogaloo, the
I love
Electric
Trip. I
Star
love
Dance.
her voice lines too. Like she is such like it's some of her voice lines are my Twitch like notifications because I love her so much. Yay, we're not dead.
Right? I think I put. So we said B, right? We're both agreeing on B.
I feel B, yeah.
Yeah, I'm B too, and this is an unpopular opinion. Sorry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sorry.
No, we get it. This is probably the community is like S tier. She's the best. I'm like,
stop. What are you doing? She's definitely an S tier. Stop. No, but no, like, I think honestly, like, for my opinion on why it's a B tier is that, like I said, I've played against the best trips in the world. I guess.
Yeah.
For to say.
Yes, we have.
And those people are really good at trip, but the downfall of trip is you're never engaging front line. You're always getting back line. If you fail at engaging back line, you're gonna waste your team's time, right? She is always annoying. She's gonna be super annoying, but doesn't make her go up the list.
No.
I just think that people in casual games are gonna have fun playing against people that don't know how to play against a trip. They are, and that's why the ranking's so high, is because she is the casual destroyer. She is the epitome of casual destroyer.
I think we said this earlier, but like invisible champions in any game make people rage because when you get caught out by one, when you don't know the game, don't know the character, don't know how they should be playing, don't know the specific play style of the person you're playing against, it gets really frustrating because like, how could I see this coming? This is BS, and you feel like that. Um, Trip's health, if I'm not mistaken, again, I'm gonna talk about HK for just a split second. If you fire your mortar at the ground, Trip gets launched into the air, and then hit. And while before they can fall again, you hit him with a rail cannon. It's 3/4 of her HP gone.
Yep.
There's nothing that the Trip can do that can take the HK from full to 3/4.
That is true. No, that's the same opinion I have. I just don't think she's viable right now. I think against
Oh, I
good
think she's
players,
viable. I think she is viable. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but like she's
no, it's good.
viable.
No. Yeah.
The issue is that she's not the God King assassin of the world. If you're
Yeah.
good with her and you pull off your moves correctly, because I think it was Zeru that used to play her on RNG, and he was great. It would just wreck your face with the and was like, but you had to be one of the best in the world to make Trip be. Again, I find a Trip on nowadays with just like on the solo queue. I'm like, fine, whatever. I can deal with this. If I was fighting the best in the world, like Trip would be scary.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And even in that situation too, I would say that's why I think she's not viable is because you have all these other like players that you'd rather pick at besides her. But no, that's totally true. Is that it just depends. Like to me, I've never had an issue even at the highest level, kind of like boxing her out and stuff like that. I've always died from Trip because I had low life because the frontliners on the other team did their job and was causing all this damage, and then Trip came and cleaned it up.
Mhm.
But like I said, I feel like there's a lot of other people like Imani will take on that responsibility. You know, you have all that.
Oh yeah,
But yes, definitely no, that's definitely a great opinion. I think yes, there is some viability, but me, I don't know. All right, the chicken himself,
a
Tito or Tito,
c-
Tito's vodka,
it's
not
just a bunch
sponsored.
of fangs in a Taito suit, so that we're fine.
I didn't realize that. Wow.
No, it's a joke. It's a joke.
Oh,
It's just like a community like joke that that Taito isn't a person. It's just a bunch of fangs in a Taito mask. Um, I would say A.
yeah, yeah. I think that's a solid one we can agree on. I think it's because, well, in my opinion, uh, his ability to just like do what Trip does, but stay a little bit alive longer. He has
Mhm.
a cleanse. He has the ability to get out. He has the ability to get in. He has the ability to just initiate. He's actually one of the few assassins. I would call him an assassin, kind of.
No,
Um,
absolutely.
that can initiate by using his ulti and then just getting out of there. It causes a bleed, and now everybody's starting to bleed out, and you're just kind of using all your other frontline and stuff to do the rest of the damage.
I
Um,
Taito is
mhm.
amazing. Again, we're talking about like best assassins in the world. We have Falco, was amazing back in the day. He's still pretty good, but that was her character of choice. So much so that I accidentally always call Taito Falco sometimes. Does that habit? Um, but like the bleed damage is crazy, which doesn't really put like if you look at Sven, like oh, there's cleanse impurity, like that hurts a Taito. So it might be why people feel like he's not as good. But when he lands all of his bleeds, which ignores like all armor, I talked about shooting Trip with like a mortar straight on the ground and then like hitting with a railgun because Trip is kind of doesn't move that much to do her damage. Like she can kind of slide. Taito just flies around you. I can hit a Trip with a Q railgun easy. A Taito I always have problems with because he's like doing
Yeah,
the blade dance around you and um
yeah.
yeah,
Just end
no.
up just annoying character. Just really
And then
annoying.
just uses swoop to loop to just like jump twice all the way like the other side of the map. And you're like, I don't know how to deal with that. What am I supposed to do with that?
Even I would even say that the swoop one where you if you take down an enemy at low health, like it's the last move that you do to take him down, it
Yeah,
resets,
no,
right?
huh?
Yeah.
So like
So
you swoop in, you I think it's called cut down, but I don't quote
yeah,
me on
yeah,
that one. But it's like swoop in, cut down. The guy dies because he does massive damage, and then just swoops out again. Like there's no reaction. Trip jumps
yeah,
in, heel kicks you, does the damage in the back. Might go invisible, but maybe not, depending on stamina and everything. If she had to go invisible to get in, she doesn't have invisibility to get out.
yeah. True. Yeah, yeah,
But then a
yeah.
title just like swoops in, kills you, hits you for a little bit, hits you, then swoops again. Like there's no unless you can like stun him before he leaves the ground. Um, yeah, it's tough. That's a tough one.
Yeah, that is tough. I think in the end, that's it. Now, Next one, the next healer,
We'll
Vadasi.
we'll we'll have differing opinions on this one. You go first.
I think honestly, I think she's an S minus.
Okay, you know what? I will live with that. S minus. I think she's better than Sven.
Yeah. Okay, we can put her head if we're kind of doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think. Well, I'll start off kind of with my analysis. Her all of her kit's great. I mean, her ability to heal and stuff. Like, if you have a really good Vadasi healer, you're always going to be getting healed with the major heal, with the
Keeps.
minor heal. Yeah, right. And then you're gonna the ulti as well. It's
Hmm.
honestly like one of the. I'm surprised people don't use Vadasi, but I think people don't use Vadasi because she does have a high skill
Yes.
ceiling, right?
I
Um,
would say that she has a very high. She has the skill floor and the skill ceiling to Vadasi. A bad Vadasi is just trash. Um,
yeah.
like I'm not joking. It's the only character in the game whose LMB is not an attack. Wait, hold on. Hold on. I'm almost positive her LMB is not an attack. I think her LMB is the heal. You keep talking. I'm gonna go look this up.
No. Go ahead. I'm trying to remember too. I think her LMB it can be turned into one, right? It doesn't turn into like if you hover over an enemy, it doesn't turn into the damage one, right?
No,
You
no,
need
no,
to
no,
go
because
the
that's
upgrade path.
LMB and RMB. Yeah, hold on. Gosh. Oh, that's
She
Peeps.
does a lot of
Peeps.
damage when you're doing the damage build. Does a lot of damage.
Vadasi. Which one of the buttons is a heal? Left mouse button or right? Left? Yeah, okay. Thank you, love. Yeah, I'm sorry. Peeps is a great Vadasi player. So asking her, like, the LMB is it's the only basic attack, quote unquote, that is an attack in the game. Um, and just the constant heals. She's not as good as at like multi-targeting as Sven.
Yeah, I would say
Um,
Sven is better at that. Yeah.
but I think a lot of people when they finally get into like Clash, because if a creature has a Vadasi on them, the creature cannot die.
Nope.
Um,
Nobody will. If you have the healing tree and you have a
mhm.
Vadasi, nobody's
No,
gonna
you
die.
can't.
You can fight around your creature. Nobody's gonna die. The main
Mhm.
objective would be that everybody needs to focus Vadasi. You need to have an anti-healer there. Those are the win
Yeah,
conditions. If not, your Vadasi and the healing tree are
yeah.
going to be out healing your damage 100%. And the only way
No,
that you're gonna win that team fight is if somebody on that team with the Vadasi and the healing tree messes up dramatically.
yeah.
All right. The
No.
Warden of the North, I think, right? The goat, sheep, deer. Where do we feel Voden is at?
I think Voden is B tier.
Ooh, that's gonna make a lot of people mad, FB.
No,
That's gonna make a
and let me
lot of people mad.
let me put out what B tier is for me.
Okay.
Is that
Yeah.
B tier is somebody who's good at their job, isn't overtuned. Like the A and B tier, like fantastic. A tier is like is a very good at is like the best at their job and everything else. Voden Voden is a great character, um, especially for like pulling like mobility and everything else. The damage is okay, but he's a sniper who does less damage than Amani. He's a healer that does less healing than Sven. He's an invisibility character, has less invisibility than almost like Ramsey sometimes. Um,
Like, bro, like where does he fit in? Right?
yeah, uh, and I'll point this out. Good Flim. Flim is a perfect example. A good Voden player will be good. And I know that sounds dumb, but like he can be a menace on the battlefield. Never dies. You'd have to like send stuff after him. Um,
Yeah, it's funny because it's almost like the trip mains, right? The trip mains are kind of the shining example of what a Voden main is. Voden mains
yeah,
are
no,
really good at what they do. They're really good at like they actually make an impact. But the same thing is
yes,
like you're trying to find the needle in the haystack. You're trying to find that guy who's really good at Voden. There's going to be
hmm
a lot of Voden mains. There is because a lot of
yes,
people like Voden.
and
But
he's excellent at what he does, but he is not good at enough to again. It's such a weird moment that again we played enough competitive. Almost nobody in competitive chose Voden except like
yeah,
Flim. Um,
yeah, it's the people
and
who are actually good at it. Yeah,
I think he runs into the Vadasi issue that he's a high skill ceiling Foden character. And if you're not there, he's trash. If he is there,
Yeah.
he's great. But when Vadasi does do something, changes the game completely. Voden only like nudges the gameplay in a direction. And B
Yeah.
tier is again like I would like most characters to be sitting at A and B tier. At least like power levels. Like if you know what I'm saying. Like that's where I want the game to be. He's
No,
where I
I
want
think
characters to be.
I think that's totally normal, and I think that he, like I said, we're not discounting Voden at all. I think
No.
he's a B tier because he is a B tier. It's not because his kid is bad or anything. Or I think he's great for what he is, and there's players out there that'll demonstrate how good he is. There's players out there that will do the S rank. They'll show us what S rank Voden is. But
Yes.
honestly,
It'll be
like
just
as we
spite
saying,
him.
it's gonna be very hard to find that S rank Voden.
And the reason he's
I'm
not in A tier for me is
Uh-huh.
because if you look at his splash screen, he is shooting from the right hand side of his bow, but has twisted his bow in a clockwise direction, which means the arrow can't stay on the bow. Sorry, I do archery, so I get ticked at that.
Yeah, that's more than I know, but there you go. Somebody who actually knows about archery. All right, Woo. I'm gonna put this one. I'll do this one. Woo, I think is S tier.
Put him S minus, but yes, I think he floats at the low end. You know what? Put him at the low end of S. Like he's at the very
Okay,
bottom of where I'd put an S tier. Because yeah, upper S. Yeah. He's the best of S minus.
okay, okay.
Yeah, because it's Wu. He is the
He's
pull.
just
That's it.
annoying. He's
Yeah.
annoying. Yeah, he's annoying, and like this is another character that people are gonna main. They're gonna
Yes.
main Woo. They're gonna get their 20 kills. They're gonna post it on the Discord. They're gonna be like, "Hey, I'm so good at this game," and then when they can't play Woo, they play another character, and they're like, "I'm so bad at this game." Woo is one of those characters that will make you feel good by yourself. Like you're feeling bad, you wanna decimate people. You play Woo.
I'll put this out.
Because
He has a low skill floor. That is to say that anybody who hops on Wu can do okay,
yep,
but it will take a lot to be excellent at Wu. You
yep.
meet some of the good Wu players. I think like Zatori at the time was a damn good Wu player. And like they lock you down for like 5 minutes. And a bad Wu player, you're like, okay, I can escape. It's annoying. I hate playing against him, but a good Wu is just spooky.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was gonna go with it. I think that's the overall feeling about Wu. I don't hate Wu. I think he's a great character. I just honestly think like yeah, there's gonna be a lot of Wu mains, a lot, and they're gonna be trying to do the little cliffing. They're gonna be trying to get people off the cliff, do all that stuff for the YouTube
No,
videos. It's
no,
almost like the
I've
equivalent
never
of
made one of
360
those.
no scope.
Oof, I've never done one of those. Are you kidding me?
They're
Never.
gonna
No, that
be
sounds cringe.
yeah yeah they're gonna be doing those videos at like 360 no scope, Wu pulling off the map, Giga Chad
Yeah,
gonna destroy you. Make sure you don't play this game ever again. Contemplation.
yeah,
Yeah. All right, FB. Here's your queen. Tentacles.
yep. There we go.
The slimy.
C,
Oh no.
C.
I'm
I love
sorry.
her to death. Like she might be like top C. And I'm gonna say this. I like her so much. I'm probably rating her lower than what she should be. She might be like B.
She might be a D, bro.
No. I
No,
said
I don't
low
know. No,
B.
higher. I mean B, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I'll put this out. She might be up to a B, like low B, but I put her at C because I think she needs. And my C tier is needs work. She like a B tier. If you played this character and you were good, you're going to have a fun time. A C tier, um, is somebody who I would like to see some work done. Number one, um, I don't think this is fixed yet. Her focus is the best focus in the game. No questions, hand down. You can change a fight with her focus. But I have I have not seen it yet, but people have reported it that even in this edition, you can hit a focus which immobilizes and makes anybody immune. It makes people immune to damage. Uh, you can accidentally hit somebody, make someone immune to damage, but they're not stationary. They can take 0 damage and continue to fight.
Does the duration still count? Like, or is it like the whole game they're
No, it's
not
just the
they're immune?
duration. It's just the
Okay.
duration,
Yeah.
which if it wasn't, it'd be broken.
Yeah.
Uh, but like, could you? And I've used it against a Narcissus, and like he's invincible. He just comes after me and beats the shit out of me, and I'm like, oh, good. I'm
That
glad.
that happened in 2017 too. I was surprised they didn't fix that bug. I hope they do fix that bug, and I hope there is an effort to do that.
Yes. So, uh, why I put her down this far is she used to be like A tier, maybe even higher. She's got only a single target disruption outside of a focus. Other characters have more. Um, she doesn't do a ridiculous amount of damage. Her ability to buff her friends is extremely low and like short ranged. Her debuffs are usually on a somewhat long cooldown, which means that anybody with a cleanse, a purity, that sort of thing can kind of just knock all of the debuffs off. Um,
Great
and
anti
like
heal.
the, but she's the best anti healer in the game. Maybe Ramsey can
Yeah.
have a. No. That is what one place where I'll say that Zenobia still shines is that her anti heal is ridiculous. Don't go the curse route. I yell about this,
I
but
do
like
that.
curse,
I do that all the time.
if it lands, it's great. But the what 1.3, 1.5 second cast time on it. I have gotten hit by it maybe like a dozen times in any gigantic game I played. Because you can dodge out of
That's
it with
not
a single
great.
dodge.
Yeah.
No,
No, that's true.
yeah, like I love Zenobia to death, but like she needs something to maybe cooldown reduction. Maybe I'm not quite sure what needs to be pushed up. The reason I think that she's SD. Look at the other one puts her in S. We're putting it down in C, and I don't think we'll
I know.
like. That is like the biggest change I think we have for a swing of characters. I'm
No,
gonna say
no,
why.
that's true.
Uh, if you are fighting Zenobia 1v1 without like if you're not a Taito, if you're not I think Taito is like a Taito or Wu. Think about who else I would never fight as a Zenobia in my a Nasus. If you're not those characters, and maybe a Ramsey. If you're not those characters, like a good Zenobia can like keep you on the edge of a pool. Again, it's one of those characters where we're talking about like Voden. We'll put him low because a good Voden is scary. He does what he does, and he does it so well that you're like, if you fight Flim, like as a Voden, you're like, you have to work to get anything. Falco on Taito, you have to work to kill a Falco. Yeah, a Taito, a Zenobia player, a good Zenobia player is just annoying. They really like it's why people rank Trip so high because Trip is just like annoys the shit out of
Always
you.
be annoying, baby. Always be annoying. Yep.
But
No, I
like,
get it.
Zenobia doesn't have any of the kit to like close a fight if somebody respects her. When people disrespect the Zenobia, like you take rake them over the coals. If you don't, you just kick the crap out of Zenobia.
Yeah, right. Okay, so no, that's great. No, I agree. I totally agree with Zenobia being C. There's a lot of things she's not an S tier. That I don't know why they did that. I think people just like
I,
tentacles a lot, and they like
yeah,
purple and tentacles.
look, me too. I think she's an S tier because again, same reason as Trip. Like you walk into the fight and you fight a Trip and you're like, okay, how could I ever avoided anything? And then they walk into a Zenobia. And again, I have probably brought this up upon like the community because if you fight again, I think 1-on-1 Zenobia wins most fights, but Gigantic's not a 1-on-1 fighting game. But if you go one in at a time, Zenobia with Amenity, and the lifeline and everything else like that regains so much health that you could fight the entire enemy team back to back to back to back and win. Which would drive someone mad. Like you get that once,
It would.
or she has like the easiest cliff game in the game.
Yeah,
When
true.
done right. So like I think those are what stick in like it's the worst times that when you're fighting a Zenobia player that like stick in your head. So people are like, oh man, she's broken. She cliff gamed me and killed me instantly. I'm like, why were you near a cliff with a Zenobia? Like,
I
what
know,
were
right?
you
Like,
thinking?
what are we what were we doing, bro? Yeah,
I'm an assassin. I can get the Zenobia. She's standing next to the
I'm a
Titan.
woo.
Yeah,
I'm a woo.
and you
She
just
can't
knock him
do
off.
that. She can't do
How
that to
dare?
me.
Yeah, so that's why I think Zenobia is ranked high elsewhere, but maybe I'm crazy.
Well,
Last character.
last but not least, we're here at the final minutes of this tier list. I think Zandora is a D. Well, actually, is that what I said? No, I think she's a
Yeah.
C. We, I mean, okay,
Ooh.
so I said she should be up more. I believe she should because her
I
kit is
think she's a
good.
D. I think
Okay,
if you were going to go, what is the weakest character in Gigantic?
it's Zandora.
So she's D. She's and you know what?
Okay.
This is a very healthy chart now that we're like we've like looked at through like I'm kind of happy with how this chart looks. Um
All right, let's do a comparison side by side analysis of what we came out with. Here is the community one, here's ours. Leave a comment down below what you guys think. But yeah, I
yeah.
think no, I think you're right. I think we kind of nailed it. I mean, we're not like I said, we're experts at this game. Well, experts. We've been playing this game for a long time. So our opinion can be different from yours. We'd love to hear those in the comments. We're not
Mhm.
here to fight anybody on anything either.
Yeah.
That's just your opinion. This is our opinion. Um, we definitely have a different opinion than the community does. I mean,
Yeah.
look at this compared to ours.
Again, we
And
have
look
a
at
little
our
bit of a
S.
shift down, so we have a little bit more of a room to play in like the S to A tiers. But like, yeah, we definitely like our B and C tiers are I think are where we kind of like differ from the community. Um,
Yeah.
except D.
Okay.
Poor D.
Yeah, right. Except D. I think we should have stayed with Zandora. I said I wanted Zandora to be C, but D seems to be a good spot. All right. So yeah, this is our tier list. You can see the side by side comparison. And I'm grateful to have FB coming out and do this. We're hopefully we'll do some in the future after release
Yeah,
happens, so we can have.
yeah,
And
absolutely.
your comments play a huge role in this as well. Like we'll read the comments and understand where we were wrong or where we were right or where you agree on.
Oh,
Uh,
look, we,
I will
we're
put
not
all the descriptions.
infallible.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. I'll put all the links and stuff to FV's videos and his Twitch, so you can follow him and his YouTube down
yeah.
below. FB, anything you want to say?
I just want to say that I'm really happy with where this community is going, and we're doing this kind of because we want to see more people in the community, and we're happy. We want to see Gigantic grow as much as we can. Um, kind of. I think that's where we stand at this point. We want to help people out. We want to see them grow. We don't want people to get annoyed that why isn't this working? What's this? Because I can remember back in the day, Northern Lion was playing Paco, was playing with a Paco and was trying to figure out why Paco wasn't healing him. And like I feel like we need as a community to come together and like really help support the community and get people to learn so we can keep things going.
Yeah, enough said with that. That's our end goal is to help people out and give our opinions and understand like how we can help others. So if you enjoyed this video, you can like, subscribe, do whatever you feel like you want to do. There's a lot of things that are going to be popping up on this video, but I appreciate all the feedback on how to do videos and all that stuff. So make
Hold
sure
on.
to
We,
leave a
we really
comment.
need to make you got no. You gotta do the end Twitch. You gotta slap that like button. Slap it. Be granny and slap it.
There you
I'm
go.
so sorry.
You heard it
That
from
was
the man
terrible.
himself.
Ugh.
You heard it from the man himself. And we'll see you all on the airship.
On the airship.
On the airship. Bye.
Bye.